Hello, welcome along. Nigel here with you, Nigel's Modelling Bench, and we have another review for you today, and this is another pretty much brand new kit. And as you can see, it's from Verifier, or you can't see, there you go, you can see now it's from Verifier, and it's a lovely big long box. And because it's from Verifier, we all know it's a ship, and as you already know from the title, it's the brand new Yamato in 1/350. I would say 35th scale. That'd be quite big, wouldn't it? 1/350th scale. So this kit comes along. It's like buses. All of a sudden, everybody wants to seem to be doing a Yamato. So yeah, Verifier came out first of all with their big Musashi, which was very well received, and that came as a standard kit or a deluxe. The Yamato was then released very much straight afterwards, and that was available as a standard kit and as a deluxe. But now they've brought out a kit that's actually in the middle, and this is the Yamato Advance kit. What's happened in the meantime, Border Model, as you know, have come out with their Yamato in 1/350th scale, and then we've got the old, is it like 10 years old now, the premium. You have to be careful with the Tamiya, because there's a cheap one and there's a more expensive one, the premium one, which has its issues. The Border one, I've seen a couple of reviews and I think it has its issues. This one has probably got its issues as well. But this video is not about accuracy and rivet counting and stuff like that. Anything that I see that's obviously glaringly wrong, I will point out, or wrong in my opinion, because at the end of the day, who really knows how much detail is out there, how much data is out there? All the drawings and everything were destroyed. There's a few photographs about, but you have to remember, just as Sen Navy said in his review, go and look at his channel. I'll put a link in the description down below. He does some beautiful ship models, and generally they're Japanese World War II ships. But as he said, these ships went in, just like all the American, European, everything. They went in, they were constantly being updated. So who can say? I mean, it's like you build an Enterprise and you tell me what gun she had on a certain date, because a couple of weeks later it was probably different, and then the paint schemes were changed and this and that was changed. So to say that this feature on Yamato is wrong, yes, in your opinion it's wrong for that period of time, but you don't really know, is what I'm saying. And that's what Sen Navy's saying as well on his channel. So I'm not going to get into that. What I'm going to talk about in this review is the detail, the plastic, the engineering, what it's like. Obviously I can't say what it's like going together, but I do believe that Sen Navy is about to, or I might have already as I'm speaking, put out a video comparing the build of the hulls of the Tamiya, the Verifier and the Border Model, and they are all three completely different designs. You would think a ship hull would be easy, wouldn't you? But no, all three manufacturers have taken a completely different approach, and personally I think this one is the best. Having not built it, I don't know, but looking at the design and how it's put together, or how it's engineered, I think this is the best. So I'll stop waffling, yabbling on. Like I say, go into the description below this video. Sen Navy's channel's there. Go give him a thumbs up and a subscribe. He's got some really interesting stuff. Obviously, he's based in Taiwan, so it's all Taiwanese. But you can go into the settings, hit subtitles, choose English, and you will get some half-decent subtitles. They're not sort of your professional like you're going to get with your latest film or whatever, but they're, you can work out what he's saying. And you can generally work out what he's saying by what he's talking about, and not just talking about what he's pointing at and showing you and stuff. So I enjoy his videos very, very much. Anyway, let's get to the bench and see what this thing's like. Tell you what, guys, I like my packaging. There's that. Look at that. There's the cardboard box that it came in. And inside there is another cardboard box. And it's all wrapped up in sellotape and everything. It's absolutely awesome. There's our little friendly dog here. Yes, and yeah, it's incredible. The packaging is, I think the kit box is going to be absolutely perfect, because it's just beautifully packaged. I do like to see a lot of these kits these days, they come in their own cardboard sleeves, which is such a good thing. Oh wow, look at that. I don't know if I can hold this up so you can see it, but we've even got, how's that for care and attention? Little plastic corner pieces to protect the corners. I mean, how nice is that? I'm going to keep those for packaging up any nice kits I send out to anybody. So I don't know how we're going to get this out, if we're going to be able to get it out at all. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. We've got the plastic corners. Luckily we don't have any dogs around to pick up and chew those plastic pieces. But I'm going to keep the camera going, I may as well. So that's come out of there. So we've now got another great big box to get rid of, and we've got more plastic corner pieces. So yes, we have a kit which has arrived in absolutely perfect condition. Look at that. Look at those corners. How nice is that, eh? That's thoughtful. That is thoughtfulness. So what we have here, I'm going to do this on here rather than on the bench. There's the beautiful box art. The box is absolutely huge. And you can see down here, it says advanced version. Now, I'm going to have a little dig through here before I actually do the review. And normally I like to open the box so that we all experience it together, the way I feel about it. But I'm going to have to do this because I know for a fact that Sueya has put extra parts in here for me. This has been sent to me by Verifier as a review sample. But this is the advanced kit, but there's some extras as well for me to show you. So I'm not just going to do an unboxing and show you everything that's in here, because you may be misled. If you don't listen to my description that I'm talking about now, you may fast forward and then you'll get to the video where I open the box and you'll think, oh, I'm getting all of that. And it's worth sticking around, because when you hear about the price of this, I think it's quite astonishing, especially compared to the others. So what I'm going to do now is get this on the bench, go through the box, see what's what, and then I'll do a review of the kit itself. I'll show you what you get extra as in the advanced version, and I'll show you what you get extra then should you want to go down that road. But I can tell you, you haven't seen them yet, but I've put out two videos on the aftermarket for the beautiful Verifier Taiho. I bought all of that. None of that has been given to me. But as you know, I always give an honest opinion. If this kit is rubbish, I will tell you it's rubbish. I won't say it's great just because it's been given to me. But basically, Verifier seem to be a very, very fast-moving company. They keep changing things, okay, but they keep changing them for the better. So, whereas, for example, in one of those sets I've reviewed, I've done the video, they just haven't gone out yet. This used to go out before that, obviously. But rather than have the 3D printed parts on a sort of length of plastic base, they've put them in a protective box because they've realised probably that they get damaged in transit. So it looks like they are very proactive and they are constantly improving. For example, the Taiho sets A, B and C, they have now combined that so you buy one aftermarket set A, B, C. So I guess it's no good if you just want the deck, but I guess it's going to work out very cost effective. And as I say, when you hear about the price of this kit at the end of this video, you will see how cost effective this one is. So anyway, we're going to get this beauty on the bench. We'll quickly look around the box, and then I'm going to go and have a look inside it, and then we'll come back with some parts. See you in a bit. Okay, so here we are at the bench, and I've had a look through and sorted things out. Right, so here we go. Yamato 1/350th Imperial Japanese Navy. This is the advanced version, as I said. Now, it's worth sticking about to find out what the recommended retail prices are going to be and what you're actually going to get in the kit. Now, I've decided, because this is such a massive piece of work, what I'm going to do, in fact, though, let's have a look at the box front first. Have a look at the box art. There we go. There she is. There she is, all beautiful with all their massive superstructure and everything. And really interesting video if you're interested in the history of the ship. Go and look at the Battle of Samar. Is it Samar? I've got it up on the screen now. Battle of Samar. Yeah, and some American escort carriers and a couple of destroyers were happily sailing away, and then somebody spotted some Japanese ships floating towards them. And one of them was Yamato, and they actually took them on. And it was absolutely amazing. It's an incredible story. I won't tell you any of the outcome, but absolutely incredible story. When you think, you know, one of the turrets on Yamato was heavier than a destroyer, and some destroyers, And when you also come to think that, you know, the displacement of Yamato was more than all of the American ships in that area put together, it's just absolutely incredible. But anyway, so yeah, as I was saying, this is the advanced kit. So in the advanced, you get the standard kit, which is just plastic with a small piece of photo etch. We'll go in detail in this in a minute. And then you get the advanced kit, which is more photo etch and a wooden deck and everything. And then you get the deluxe kit, which is everything and everything and everything and everything. So that's basically what we're going to look at. And in this video, as I say, I'm not going to so much go on about accuracy unless it's something I really want to pinpoint, but more about value for money, what the kit's giving you, what one's got over the other. And as I say, we're looking at Tamiya, this one, and the Border. And it's all just going to be, you know, talk rather than just showing you what the others have got. As I say, Sen Navy has done a video. I've just seen it. He's actually put it out while I was talking to you face to face. He's actually done a video where he has built all three hulls and compared them. As I say, click on the settings, go to subtitles, click on English if you're English, and you will get a pretty rough guide of what he's talking about. But certainly we are of a very, very similar opinion, and that is that this is the best. So there we go. So in this video, we're going to have a look at the instructions, the aftermarket bits, well not the aftermarket, but the extras and stuff, and then we're actually going to look at the hull itself. And then I think what I'll do is I'll do a part 2 when we'll look at everything else. So looking around the box, you can see here we have basically there's a CAD image of the model. And looking at this, it looks like this is probably the deluxe version, not the deluxe version, the advanced version, because if it was deluxe, it would have all resin guns and everything down here. But this one still has the wooden deck and all the photo etch, all bar one of the deluxe photo etch frets. So really, when you look at it, I think when you look pound for pound, value for money, this one is probably the one to go for. But as I say, more about that in a minute. Along the box here, you can see we've got a lot of Japanese writing, I believe that is. Okay, so it may be Chinese, I don't know. But it's probably Japanese because of the subject. And then going around the box here, we have a beautiful drawing of Yamato, 1945. This is probably as sunk. If you notice, she's got no planes and no boats on board, which is apparently how she went when she went to her final grave. She had no planes and no boats on board. So there we go. You can see we've got the wooden deck rather than the black coloured deck, so worth taking on board. Here we've got the float planes. We've got the Aichi E13A, and we've got the Mitsubishi F1M2 Pete. Now, according to the what are they called? Those books? What are they called? Anatomy of the Ship. Look behind me. Anatomy of the Ship books. Yamato never carried this Aichi, so I don't know. But she certainly carried this one. And as I say, if you're modelling her as sunk, she didn't have any planes on her at all. And then here we've got colour callouts. I'm led to believe that these colour callouts are Verifire's own paints. Now, when I saw the C, I thought they were for Mr. Hobby, Mr. Colour, but they're not. They're actually their own paints. So if anybody knows of a conversion chart out there, I'd love to know about it, please. And here we can see Beaver Corporation. This is a company in Japan, and I think this is probably how they get around the Japanese thing. If you know the 200 scale Yamato, which is clearly from Trumpeter, is marketed under what is it in Europe? It's Glow2B, Gallery Models, and there's another one as well in Australia. And there's 3 different companies. But there's something to do with Chinese doing Japanese stuff. I know somebody did a review. You can go back and have a look. I can't remember who it was, but they did a review of a Trumpeter kit of a Japanese ship, and the actual sealed decals had the Japanese flag scribbled out with a black marker pen. I couldn't believe my eyes. So there we go. So breaking into the box, it is a beautiful, beautiful box. It's very rigid. Really, great packaging as well. So that's what the other thing I want to talk about in this video is the packaging, because the Border model kit, I've seen, as I say, I've seen Sen Navy, and apparently there have been some issues with the Chinese version. So if you are buying one cheap from eBay from China, beware. Apparently there are packaging issues, which we've seen in the past with Border, where parts are all just banging around in the box together. The box is actually bigger than this one, and yeah, the parts are all jangling around and banging into each other and getting damaged. So with the latest release, the one that's coming across the pond and everything, or across the ponds, they've actually got plastic bags around everything, but it's not packed anything like as well as this or the Tamiya version. So you can see here we've got an instruction book in colour. We've got this A3 sheet here. So this sheet here is your colour callouts and everything, and then this one here is your extras. More about that in a minute. We're going to have a look at the actual standard kit first, and then in here we have a promotional leaflet showing you all the different ships. This one here is a brand new tooling. I don't think it's out yet, but it looks very interesting. I'd love to build that because it just, excuse me, it just looks like it's a fairly quick build and not too complicated, but and it has that beautiful little Japanese hull as well. I love these little Japanese hulls without the big bulbous noses and stuff. So that's very nice. And as I say, we got this lovely colour instruction manual. So first of all, we'll have a look at this. We'll try and get this box out of the way. Can we get the box out of the way? Is it possible? Not quite. Never mind. I'm not sure if this paper's glossy or not. Let's have a look. Can we get away with having a look? Yes, we can. Okay, so Yamato. All this here is in English, so I'm assuming this is basically what it says on the side of the box, and then it talks about her loss and everything, and her being launched and everything like that. So in here we have the sprue callouts. Okay, so here you can see that these are all the plastic parts. We have a little photo etched fret, we have some chain and our decals, and we have all these plastic parts here, and then we have more plastic parts going over the page. You will notice on some of the sprues they have an I and then a letter. So this is IE, IH, IG, IF. And what Verifier have done, they've done generic sprues for Japanese ships. So the I is obviously IJN. So you will find these sprues appearing in other models. If you saw my review of the Taiho, then you'll know that that's the case. And all these sprues here, you can see they're all I. So we've got the ship's boats. We've got some paravanes here, we've got some searchlights. That one there says 1350th Yamato, even though it's called IR. It looks like that's a single 25 mils there. So you could basically update your model and add what you want to it. But as I say, you do get a fairly smallish sheet of photo etch. You do get a fairly smallish sheet of decals, mainly for the aircraft. We do have all the deck markings, which I don't believe Tamiya give you, and you've got all your decks and everything. And your hull halves, and you can see down here they've got a star after that. Means there's one of those, that means there's two of those. So so there you go, you can work your way through. So here we are, we're starting on here with aircraft assembly, and as you can see they have these instructions, they have this legend, sorry, here, which is really nice, and I always talk about this: up fold, down fold. So they're telling you which to fold up and which to fold down, and when you look at photo etch parts, that's really good, because sometimes it's not quite clear. So you can see here what they've done. They've given us like a colour image. So you can see here the tailplanes are in yellow. This half of the fuselage is in orange. This half of the fuselage is in grey. Pink lower wing, green wing struts, you know, and then blue prop. And the way they've got it all different colours, so it's clear to see what is what. So that's really nice. And then we've got the Jake here, which, as I say, I'm not sure if that's supposed to be on the ship or not. But you've got two of those anyway, and you can go and buy more, I'm sure. So we're starting off here with the 127mm guns. The first thing I noticed, because I have had a browse through these, they're telling you to build these units up, but they don't tell you how many. So, you know, for instance, I believe there's 6 of these required, but they're not telling you to build 6, they're just telling you to build them. So if you look at IM4, IM is, where is IM? I must have just been looking at it. IM, here we go. So IM, and it has, it looks like it only has 2 of those, but there's, sorry, I'm thinking about the 150s. So that's IT. Yeah, there's 6 of those that you can see them there. So there's 6 of the 150s. I think there's 4 of the 60s, So you can see there's 2 there, but we've got 2 of those sprues. So you know, you can just build them all, but it would be nice in the instructions if they told you how many to make. For instance, when it comes to these guns, the 25mm triples, we've got IE, and if we look at sprue IE, we have 5 sprues, okay, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bases on there, so you can make like 30 guns, okay. So, but I think there's 21 or 22 required. But just go through the instructions and make some little notes. You're going to be talking about more about that in a minute anyway. Again, we've got here these guns, and then we've got all our winches. Nice to see they've given us actual reels with cable on, rather than like what Trumpeter have done with the 200, where you just got a spindle in the middle. It looks stupid. But here we have photo etched ends, and then the plastic part in the middle. Feels like I've missed a page because the paper is such good quality. So here we go, going along the page here, we're assembling up all the main turrets. Now if you get the border kit or the Trumpeter kit, sorry, the Tamiya kit has detail below the turrets. The border kit has full detail with all the shells and everything in there. I think the Tamiya kit is quite basic. And you can see here you've got your gun barrels going in, you've only got one position, and you've got your blast bags moulded on. So, as I say, we're talking about this as the standard kit, not anything else. And then here we've got our rangefinders going in the sides. Bit of controversy whether they should be curved on the back or squared off. Maybe some are curved and some are squared off. Again, we don't have the drawings. We can't see the real ship. We just don't know. They're telling us to drill holes here. Be careful, that's not on all of them. That's only on 2, I believe. I think it's on the stern as well. I can't remember now from memory. Yes, it's only on 2 of them, so don't drill these holes in all of them. Okay, the big holes there. So again, they're not telling you how many to drill the hole, so don't just go firing in and drilling all of them. So there we are, and then we've got our 155mm second guns, and these actually came off Mogami. Excuse me. And then here we've got the pivots there for the guns going in, building up the box around, and then adding the antenna. And also bear in mind, you see, this is where you could easily fall foul. You're going to do 2 lots of this, all right, but you're only going to drill 1 like that, and you're going to drill 1 like that. Okay, so you can see one's forward, one's aft. Okay, so one's number 1 and one's number 4, I think, because she used to have 2 on the sides. So you had like 1, 2, 3, 4, but now you have 1 and 4 because they removed 2 and 3 and replaced them with these guns on the sides. So yeah, be careful of that if you are new to the hobby, if you're not familiar with Yamato. One of those like that, one of those like that. Don't drill them both out like that or like that. Okay. Also check all these, where they're asking you to drill holes, just double check just to make sure, because you can see you've got all these holes here being undrilled, and that'll be for Musashi or Yamato at different levels in their life. They may, if we're really, really lucky, they may do a, was it Shinano? I think it was Shinano, wasn't it? The aircraft carrier version. That would be cool. So here we've got our flight deck being drilled here, and then our main deck there being drilled, and then we've got some holes to be drilled for our waste pipes, bilge pipes, whatever you want to call them, on the sides of the hull. And then we're going to bring the whole house together. As I say, you can go and see Sen Navy's channel and see this actually being done. He's put a video up today being Friday the 8th of November 2024. So you can see here we've got these bulkheads going in. Glue the bulkheads to the floor only. I've said this before many times. Don't ever glue them into the sides, because then you're able to move the sides around to suit the deck. If you glue those in there solid and then you find the deck is a millimetre too wide, you're stuck. Okay. And then so we're going to actually, you've got 2 sides of the hull going onto a base, which is wonderful. When you compare this to the Tamiya kit, you've got a rear section, and then you've got a front section, and then you've got a bow, and then you've got side. It's just the way the Tamiya hull goes together is ridiculous. If you've built the kit, you'll know what I mean. It is ridiculous. There is panel upon panel upon panel, and you screw it all together, and it just seems so absolutely pointless. Okay, this is by far the best way to go, because you don't have this silly seam up here to deal with. You don't have seams all over here where you've got the top and the bottom parts of the hull going together. You don't have the silly seam where you've got the bow going onto the rest of the hull, and then you've got that daft plate to go in the bottom that doesn't fit very well. It's just a nightmare. So yeah, so basically I think this is the best one. The border model is just two halves, so you've got the whole, if you could imagine splitting this in half, you've just got two main hull parts coming together. The trouble is with the border model, you've got a seam line because of the moulding. You've got a mould seam all along there which has to be sanded out, all in between. Here you go, here there's a mould seam going along there which goes between the hull plates, and then back here you've got a seam which kind of goes up and then along and then down and then straight. And all this moulding here is awful on the border model kit. Go look at Sen's review and you'll see what I mean. It looks like they had some misalignment and somebody's just gone into the tool with the mold tool with a Dremel. It looks terrible. But you know, it is what it is. But go and have a look anyway. And then we've got the rudder going in and the secondary rudder. Of note, this is the only Yamato kit I know of that's got the correct shape rudder. So really nice. We've got a choice of different sterns here. I don't know why. You'd have to do research and see which one you want to go with. I think you've actually got 4 sterns in the kit, I think. Maybe that was in Musashi in a review I saw. And here we are building up the props and the shafts and everything. So that's nice. You might want to leave those off because it's such a big model. Leave them off for now and then do all that after you've got the deck and everything done. So here we've got all our waste pipes going down, or bilge pipes, whatever you want to call them. We've got these divots going on the side, or davits, sorry, going on the side here. Got the rods going on there. And then straight away we're straight into the flight deck. And we're adding this linoleum panel here, which was a walkway. We've got the tracks going in for the aircraft. We've got the tracks going in for the boats here. Okay, and we've got the tracks going in for the hangar deck there. So that's all very nice. This all looks very, very Tamiya-esque, doesn't it? But we've also got these little bollards going in here. And then coming over the page, we have plastic parts here, which are the supports for these outriggers, where these are like crane gantries, where the boats were sat in here, and they came out, and they came out on those gantries suspended underneath, and they came back. Also of note, if you get the Tamiya kit, it has no ship's boats. I think it might have one. I think it might have that or those 2 little ones there, but it has no other ship's boats. If you want the ship's boats, you have to buy them extra. And it's the same with the Bora kit. I don't think that has any ship's boats at all. But, I stand to be corrected, but from looking at reviews, I don't think it has any ship's boats. And then here we've got the rear staff going on. Probably best not putting that on now. It's silly, it's going to get broken off. We've got hangar doors going on. It looks like we've got lots of nice detail on there. Again, accuracy, I don't know, but it's going to look nice with all the rivets and that. Then we've got a crane going together, so you've got plastic parts for the crane, plastic uprights and everything. And as I say, this is the standard kit. And then we've got bits and pieces, adding on all greeblies and stuff, winches and 25mm triple guns. We've got some vents here, look. We've probably got some ammo bins. Yeah, we've got ammo storage. We've got some single 25mm guns here. As you can see, lots and lots of bits and pieces going on. We've got some capstans there. Very nice indeed. And then coming along here, we've got our catapults being put together. We've got our main mast being put together. Multi-part anchors, which is a nice touch rather than just having a moulded plastic lump. So that's nice. You could actually glue those 2 parts together and have the shaft pivoting. That would be a nice touch, because then if you do want to put it in, you can. And then we've got the catapults with the planes sat on them there. And here we have, looks like photo, yes it is, got a photo etch frame there for the aircraft to sit on. So you've got one for the Zeke, one for the Jake and one for the Pete. So as I say, not even sure if the Jake is correct. So here we're starting on the main superstructure assembly. So we've got some, I'm not sure if that's spotlight platforms there or rangefinder platforms. And then we've got some gun platforms going on here with the treaded plate and everything in them. And then we're building up these pieces then that go around the sides. As you can see, again, all the different colours to make everything really clear. And then they're going in. And we're building it up just like any other Yamato kit, building it up with all the details going on, all the guns, the main mass, all the searchlights going in, telescopes everywhere. And just like I said back at the beginning, all those telescopes being built, it doesn't tell you how many. So what you might want to do is go through the instructions and see how many you have to make, or just make as many as you've got parts for, and then at the end of the day you'll have parts for your spares bin. This structure here going together, nice to see they got these bulkheads inside. That's going to make that quite a nice structure to put together. I believe the Tamiya one is a little finicky in that area. And you've also got these seams to deal with then on the front, but I think these are actually weld seams on the real thing. And then we've got range finders, we've got the splash guard things going on here. And then we've got the bridge. That's a plastic part there, but I was sure I saw some photo etch. Oh, okay, if you build the model out of the box without any extras, it's plastic. Okay, so there we go. And then we've got all those little telescopes going on the top of there, more going in there. So you can see it's very, very nice, very well detailed. And this here is a solid plastic piece, which is going down in there, look. And then coming over the page, we have, I'm just looking here, so there is a photo etch piece that goes in there. I'm just looking for where the, you've got I-14 there, but I'm just looking for where there's a photo etch window frame up here. It goes in there. So we've got I-4 there, we've got nothing on that side. I think I'm losing the plot, lads. Very strange. It's kind of, because when you go over the page, you can see we've got the photo etch brass there. So I'm really missing a trick here somewhere along the line. I can't see anywhere where it's telling us to fit any photo etch. I'm sure I'm wrong. And then here we got the this is more rangefinder and radar stuff and everything. We've got some searchlights going on there, which is, you've built up already back in the previous part. We've got some splinter shields there, and then we're going to build up the bases here for our 155mm guns, which is very nice. And then here we're going to make a start on the funnel. We've got more rangefinder stuff going on. And we're going to make a start on the funnel, those lovely tubes going up with all those pipes. Lots and lots of sprue cleanup and seam removal. And then the funnel's coming together. The funnel's in two halves. So it's there. Oh, that's the base of the funnel. This is the upper part of the funnel. And then coming over here, we've got the 155mm guns going together, adding some parabanes in there. And then funnel and all that's going to go onto there. And you can see here we've got some major assembly. And then the model is complete. Okay. So there we go. So that's it. That's what you're getting. So if you buy the standard kit, that's what you get. Now already, I personally believe this model as a kit is better than the Tamiya Premium. Okay. Now I know the Tamiya Premium has the stainless steel photo etch for bits and pieces and everything, but I think the whole design is much better. I think when I show you the plastic in a minute, you'll see the whole actual quality is a hell of a lot better. Yes, I know the Tamiya kit is over 10 years old now, I believe. So, but overall, I think this is a better kit out of the box. Okay, and the retail price of this kit, I believe, in the UK is £129.99. Okay, so there we go. Looking at the advanced version, what you get over the ordinary one. Okay, so as I say here, we've got this big beautiful A3 colour call out. If we look at the advanced version, we've got this huge sheet here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it sideways. Okay, so you can see what's going on. Now for the advanced version, you can see you're getting all these metal barrels. You're getting mast parts. Okay, and you've got all these metal barrels here. So you've got 155mm barrels 6 off, 127mm barrels 12 off, and then we've got all the 25mm guns are plastic. You can buy resin aftermarket ones, obviously. So that's what we've got there. So we've got all these mast parts, English staff, mast, masty, I don't know what all these mast parts are referring to because they ain't got that many masts on it. It's just a name. It's just a name given to the part. And then here we got all the resin. So it's 3D printed, and you've got all of your blast bags there for your main guns, blast bags there for your secondaries. We've got some vents there which go on the deck. Funnel parts, I haven't seen exactly where they go yet. We've got part of the crane there, that's actually the base. We've got a vent there, we've got one of those, 4 of those vents. We've got the number 2 Model 2 radar, that's the funny little trumpeter things that look like. And then we've got the main mast part A going on, and then we've got some 127mm blast bags for our 127mm guns. We have some 40cm searchlights, and we have 5 additional sheets of photo etch. That's not instead of, that's as well as what you get in the standard kit. So you can see you've got all your railings here, you've got a base there with all your trekker plate on it, we've got masts, we've got catapults, we've got all sorts in here. We've got details there for the funnel, more details there, all those rings going around the funnel, that the walkways and that for the maintenance guys. And as you can see, you've got a hell of a lot there. We've also got photo etch canopies for the aircraft, photo etch propellers, lots and lots of stuff. And then of course here you have a wooden deck, which is beautiful. Now if you watch Sen Navy's review, he's saying on there that in the advanced kit you don't get the 3M backing. Well, I've got the advanced kit here and I've got the 3M backing, so I don't know, I think it's just the supplier that's around at the time when they actually made the deck. So going over the page here, we can see this is what we're getting. I'm going to keep it this way up now so you can see what's going on, and I'll have to move it up as we go. So you can see here we're building up the 155mm guns, and you can see we've got, it's telling us to drill the holes here even though it's already told us that previously. One thing I think is wrong here, they've got these holes, that hole there, they've got that hole there at the base of that angled part here, and I believe it should be further up. I believe that mast part there should be further up. Won't be a problem, because as you move it up it'll follow the same sort of arc. So just drill a hole where you think it should be. Have a look at some photographs, drawings, whatever, and that needs to be further up, I think. If that's the only error I find on this kit, that's bloody awesome. And it's the only error I've spotted so far. So you can see there's our 155mm gun turrets completed. Again, all of this photo etch is in this kit, so there's no aftermarket. So if you want to have a go at one of these kits with all your aftermarket and everything, if it scares you a bit, this is a very, very good way of doing it financially. I'm going to tell you the price, you won't believe it. So there we got all the railings going on the 25mm turrets there, and then we've got another 155mm being built up, and then we're going to go into our 127mm guns, and then we've got our main guns here, again ladders up the sides, railing all around the tops, but bear in mind there's one like that and 2 like this. Okay, so bear that in mind. And as you can see, rangefinders here, not sure if they should be round on the back or angular, square or what. And then here we've got the 25mm triple mounts going together, so you've got all the plastic parts here. You're adding some photo etch there for the gears, and you're adding all the photo etch shields and everything, which is part of the aftermarket set. And here you can see you've got all your metal barrels as well, so that's all very nice rather than the plastic ones. And then coming over the page, we've got gun directors, gunfire control, and then we've got 13mm machine guns here. And then we've got this is like the radar on the top of the bridge, and you can see all this photo etch here replacing all the plastic. Now they're not necessarily telling you where to remove plastic from, you just have to work that out. Certainly not a kit for beginners, but you could just get the ordinary one and build it, no problem. But all of this, you're going to need a bit of a few kits behind you to get stuck into this. And you can go and watch Sen Navy do it, because he'll show you how to do it all as well. And you can see we've got this little frame structure here being put together, and that's going under there to support that. So all of these little photo etch frames and buttresses, they really add to the detail, because they catch the light with the matte grey paint, which really makes details pop. It all just really, really catches the light. It looks beautiful. Here you can see this all this parts here being replaced with photo etch rather than having big chunky bits of plastic there. And then you can see these little outriggers here with the mast on the end and the railings around them. And you just go through, and as you can see, it's showing you where to remove the plastic there. Look, to replace the plastic, to replace with photo etch, sorry. And then here we've got all our gussets and everything going in there. Lots and lots of ladders and platforms and this, that and the other. And then we've got our 60cm searchlights here. And we've got some photo etch to go on them. Okay. And then going over the page, we're doing our funnel. So we've got all the baffle plates and everything inside the funnel, all in photo etch. We've got all the photo etch here for the top. We need to bend all that. And then we've got the plates going over the top. And then here we're building up this little bridge area that's going to go around the front, all in photo etch rather than plastic. So it's not like Eduard, where it's telling you to replace kit part number, whatever. You just have to work all that out for yourself. Just go to the relevant section in the instructions. So wherever the turret is, the funnel. So you can see here. Where are we? You can see here, you've got this plastic platform here, H5. That's that there. So replacing all that one lump of plastic there with all this photo etch here. And the actual railings around the base of the funnel here, it looks like they don't exist. No, they don't. They don't exist in plastic. You can see, when you look at the funnel here, you can see that you've just got this platform there. There's nothing here at all. Whereas here you've got all these rings going around, you've got the ladders going up, you've got all this platform here, you've got the rings going around all the way around, we've got everything, ladders and everything. So you're adding so much more with this little set. And then here we're building up the mast. We've got a resin part to replace a plastic part there, and we've got metal parts making up our main mast rather than the plastic. And then we've got the lower parts here. I would suggest, I'm not sure what that's telling you there. That symbol is bend. I see, so they're telling you to bend the end of the brass to put an angle on it. Okay, and I would suggest you probably build this using whatever that goes into as a jig, because otherwise they're telling you to drill here as well. Otherwise you're going to have issues with placement. Make sure you get it all correct so it's all going to fit when you come to put it together. And then as you can see, you've got all these little photo etch pieces going together. So it's going to be a very, very complex assembly. What you could do if you want to is just build the plastic mast and then add these photo etch pieces to it if you're a bit concerned. But nothing to be scared of. It's only a model kit at the end of the day. So here we go. Right, we have the this area here. Not exactly sure what it's called, but we've got some walkways there, and we've got some range finders there, and then we've got the gun platforms there, or searchlight platforms, whatever they are. And then here it's telling us, oh, it is actually telling us here to remove some bits and pieces and then replace it all with the etch parts. And we should have a jig, I should imagine, on the photo etch to drill that out. So B101, let's go back to the beginning. That's B. Do we have any jigs on here? Yes, there you go. If you look at the middle there, you can see this line of parts here. That's jigs with holes drilled in them. So basically you sellotape that over, and then you drill through the sellotape into the hole, and then you drill into the sides, and then you can replace all those ladder rungs with photo etch. They'll look amazing, absolutely amazing, rather than just moulded on lumps. And then here we've got more searchlight platforms, more grills, more railings. It all looks very complicated, but once you crack through it, you just start crossing things off. The blue arrows mean repeat on the other side. So yeah, very nice. So they're telling you to add those vents in here. They're resin parts that you get in the set, in the kit. And then we've got some more photo etch grills going on there. We've got photo etch parts going down here. Lots and lots and lots of photo etch. And as you can see, they're not showing you all the photo etch on the funnel there. It's just a basic layout to show you where these bits are going, so they're keeping it simple so it's not all complicated and cluttered. And then going over the page back up to the top, here's your basic finished superstructure, and you can see all of the photo etched brass and all of the turn brass parts on there. Absolutely incredible. And then here you've got these areas underneath here, these gantries that are going to let the boats come out. They're all made of photo etch. Yeah, nice. And then we've got our single gun mounts, photo etch base, photo etch sight, photo etch solder braces. Yeah, all going onto that plastic part. You may wish to buy aftermarket 25mm guns. And then here we've got that, I'm not sure what that is, but that goes behind the hanger, and it's got the 3 little protrusions on it. So that's very nice. And then coming over the page here, we have lots of railings. We have boarding ladders, which is a nice touch. We have the ensign staff there to go onto the stern. We've got here, we've got life buoys going in there. We've got this here, I don't know what that is, but it's a large solid, it's like a raft or something, I don't know what it is. And then here you can see we've got more railings showing where they go and everything. Again, if you go to the website, once this is all available and to buy and everything, this will all be on there, and you can download it onto your computer, save it, and then you can blow it up and look at it bigger if you want to. And then you've got the option of having the boarding ladder in the collapsed state or in the down state. And here we've got trolleys for the aircraft, which are going to sit on those tracks there, as you can see, and you can stick an aircraft on top of them then, should you want to, or you can have one down in the hangar. Okay. And then coming along here, we've got another boarding ladder there. We've got the main railings there going around the sides. And then here you can see all of the stiffener sections going onto the barbettes. All very nice indeed. Might want to fit your wooden deck before you fit them on, or fit the wooden deck before you fit the barbettes in, because it could be that it won't slide over once you've got all that over. Once you've got all that photo etch on there, the wooden deck won't slide over the barbette, obviously. And then here, working on the forecastle, we've got the little platforms there that come out, and then we've got the staff there. Here we've got that, that's that unit there that goes, I don't know if it's a lookout or something or what it is. And then we're going to start to build up the crane. So we've got the crane base, got that resin part going in there, and then we're going to start to add. So we're having a photo etch, completely photo etch crane, rather than having the big lumpy plastic one. And here, like I said, we're just showing you how to fold everything. You need to add some copper wire, 0.2mm, 0.3 I think is about the smallest you can buy, so I'm sure 0.3 will be fine. And then here we're going to build up one of the catapults, fold that all up and everything. And we've got the walkways going on the side. We've got the actual catapult platform for the aircraft. And then again, we're building the aircraft up. Here we have photo etch stays for the floats. We have photo etch supports for the wings, photo etch prop, photo etch canopies. And again here, photo etch canopy frame, photo etch stays, photo etch prop. You can see basically there's the aircraft there. And then finally, for the instructions, we have here, we have these lovely square plates on there, which I wish other manufacturers would give you, and that's to cover the fans that they either pull in or suck out fresh air. So that's all good. And then we've got the ladder here going into the back. And then here we've got more boarding ladders with the supports and everything on them coming down off the davits. So there you go. You can see there, they haven't fitted the wooden deck, but there is your advanced Yamato. Okay, now here's the golden part. You have now seen what you get. Okay, so that there is what you're getting over the standard kit. So you're getting all of this, all these plastic sprues, all this photo etch, the chain and everything, and you're getting these plastic sprues up here. Okay, but you're also getting the wooden deck, the photo etch, the resin and the turn brass parts. And this kit, now don't hold me to this because there may be an error, but I am led to believe that this kit, the advanced kit, is $149.99. Now I just want to give you a comparison. I've written it down and left it over here. So I just want to give you a comparison. This is going to be £149.99. I find it hard to believe, but apparently that's what I'm told. Gary at Tiger Hobbies tells me this is going to retail at £149.99. He's even questioned it with Verifier, and they have confirmed that is the price. That is absolutely incredible for what this is. When you bear in mind the Tamiya kit, the premium model, which has the dafty multi-part hull and the horrible seam at the front to deal with, the bow to deal with, the not much loved photo etch, which is stainless steel, which is not that nice to work with. It's not as nice as brass. However, having said that, when you look at the tracks and everything on the flight deck, I would rather have those as stainless steel because it's much easier to keep it straight than the brass is. But basically that kit, and I'm talking retail here. Now I know you're going to get it cheaper elsewhere, and you can go to such and such a shop in Outer Mongolia and it's 10. I know that. You don't need to tell me that in the comments. I'm talking retail prices I found from Hannants. So the retail price of that Tamiya kit is £265. Then if you want the wooden deck, that's £26. If you want the main barrels, okay, that's just the main barrels for your main guns, that's £16. The handrail set, which is individual stanchions and cable, is £16. The degaussing cable, which you must have on the Tamiya kit if you want to make it realistic, is £18. And then you've got, they don't give you any boats, so you've got to add boats, which is another £20. So all in all, that comes to £361 to get yourself somewhere near this. And then you still have a kit with less detail on the hull. And I'm going to be totally honest with you now, I actually made a start on mine and I put it down because it didn't actually go together very well at all. If you remember Paul Shapland over at Plastic Monkey, he built one and I started building mine at the same time. His went together like a dream. I had gaps everywhere. I had a real Friday afternoon kit and it really wouldn't go together. For instance, I had to pack out the deck front and back to get the stern and flight decks to fit. Otherwise I had a massive gap here and a massive gap there. I don't know what was going on, but I basically put it down because I was so fed up with it. And when I heard that there were some new Yamatos on the horizon, I thought I'd just leave it and see what happens. And thank God I've got this one. So as I say, this one is 300. The Tamiya one is £361, and this one is £149. And then when you've got the Tamiya kit, you still haven't got all this photo etch, okay? And you don't have the resin parts. So basically, for your £361, you're getting all the plastic kits with the Tamiya part. You're getting the wooden deck. You're getting the metal barrels, but you're not getting any of those metal barrels. Okay, you're not getting any of those resin parts. And you're not getting any more, most of that photo etch. Some of that photo etch is in the Tamiya kit already. So yeah, I mean, it's just going that, work it out yourself, get the Tamiya kit, price it with the Pontos set. I don't know how much the Pontos set is, but I'll bet it comes to over £500 for those two. So there you go. So yeah, this is as far as ship models go, this is the bargain of the century. So I don't know what's going to happen with the DX kit, the deluxe kit, because what you're getting extra in that, okay, if you look on here, I printed this out, you can see, obviously I haven't done the photo etch and the wood deck. The only difference is with the DX kit, you get an extra little fret here, which is little bits of ladders and stuff. That's it. You don't get that in this one, but you still get the wooden deck and you still get that. But if you look on here, you're getting one hell of a lot more resin. All the turn brass parts are pretty much the same, except you're not getting these bits. Yeah, so you've got the short barrels and you've got the you've got the 127mm short barrels, and you've got the 127mm. No, okay, so you've only got the short barrels, the 155s. Those. I think you've got most of the mass parts, but not all. Or maybe you have got all. But then you get the blast bags. You don't get this. You get that. You get that. You get that. You don't get any of this. So you get any of this resin here. Okay, you get a few little bits and pieces of this. You don't get any of these sandbags, none of these gun directors, none of this. So you're basically paying another £120 for that resin, which is probably quite reasonable in the aftermarket world. If you priced all these guns up individually, it's probably not too bad. But yeah, so there you go. So this, I think, as far as ship kits go, this is the bargain of the century. So let's just have a quick look at the moulding on the hull. We've already discussed briefly the packaging. I'm just going to get this out of the way. That's lovely. I want to build one of those. I do want to do one of those tacos. Takeo. Now you can see here, because we did briefly mention the packaging, you can see here that these hull halves are basically fitted into this piece of cardboard, and I can pick this up just like so. And that ain't going nowhere, it's not going to get damaged. And all of the photo etch is in this white cardboard box underneath, which is taped down securely to this base. And then this base fits securely in the model. And then you can see that underneath you've got, there's your wooden deck. And as I say, this one's got the 3M on it. So unfortunately we have the evenly staggered planks, which as you know, I don't like. But the Taiho doesn't have that. But you get the wooden deck nonetheless. I mean, like I say, you work that out as £26 from Tamiya for the Yamato. So, you know, pays your money, takes your choice. The 3D printed resin parts are here. Okay, but we'll look at those in another video. And then we got our 3D printed blast bags there. As I say, we'll look at those again. So here we'll have a look at these hull halves, and then we'll call it a day. And then I'll do a part 2 video next week or something, and you can see what the rest of the kit is like. But here, as you can see, whoops, sorry guys, we have the hull halves. It feels like lovely plastic. It doesn't feel at all oily. It's really, really crisp. It's very, very nice, and the moulding is really clean. What's very nice on here, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to make it out, but they've got riveting on here. Hear that? So you can see all the planking detail. The plating detail is absolutely gorgeous. Just brought the camera a bit closer, guys, because my shoulder's still hurting and I don't want to lift it up. The other thing that's nice on here, and it's one thing I really didn't like about the Tamiya kit, they have the degaussing cable is basically moulded on as a single faint line. It's almost like a mould seam. It's so faint. And they're kind of almost forcing you to buy their degaussing cable, which is just a generic degaussing cable set, which is just strips of straight degaussing cable, and they're only about this long, so you have all these joints going along the side. It's not the best, but there we go, it is what it is. Now you can see here that we actually have the degaussing cable moulded on as it should be. It's like a correct rectangular section with all the clamps every little meter or so, whatever, and that's all very nice. You can also see on this side the degaussing cable is going up into that hole, and there'll be a cap to go on there. That's something that they missed on the trumpeter kit, and I actually told Pontos about it, and they added it in as a little correction. And you can see the degaussing cable continues along here, then it goes up over there into the boat area, and then back along the bow there, along the stern there. You can see the beautifully done, welded over portholes. You can see the rivet detail. I'm not sure how well you can see it, but it's there. There is raised rivet detail on those planks, on those plates, and it goes for that all the way down the hull. And you can see here where they've got the joint where the lower hull fits. It's all along the natural panel lines. Now on the Tamiya kit, this is, well, up to here is moulded as one piece, but you have a seam line here to deal with, which in between all these in between all these plates is quite awkward. Okay, and then you have, I think it's this section here is separate, this section here is separate, that bit in there is separate. You've got a seam down here, you've got a seam here, and it comes down and like that, so you've got an L shape there. Oh, it's just such a lot of work, and it's just absolutely needless it's totally and utterly pointless. You know, Verifier have shown us here what can be done. Why couldn't Tamiya do the same? I know it's 10 years old, but you know, this is leaps and bounds ahead of the Tamiya kit in my opinion. So there we go. Very, very nice. And as I say, the plastic feels quite nice. It's not overly hard. It's not overly soft. Yeah, it carves quite nicely. So yeah, I'm really grateful for Verifier sending me this. I think what I'm going to do, as far as the building of this goes, I think what I'll do is build the hull and see how it goes together, just to show you guys, and then I can show you afterwards a comparison of this next to the Tamiya hull, and you can make your own mind up. But I think basically your wallet will make your mind up for you with this one. This is just, I don't know how much the trumpeter kit costs, the border model kit. I don't know how much that costs, but I don't care if it's £50 cheaper than this. It's not worth it, because of the hull, because of this. It's got as I say, it's got this horrible mould seam, goes along here, and then it goes up and along, and then up and then along. So you've got to try and get that here, and here where it goes up, it's sort of there where they could have put it there, you know, where there's a natural line, but they've put it here. But it would be okay. But what they've done, there's probably a mould line here. No, maybe not. There's a mould line there on the Taiho, and you can hardly even see it, let alone feel it. What they've done is put this mould line here, and it looks like what's happened when they actually did the first test shots, these lines here on these plates didn't line up, and it looks like what they've done is just got it and dressed it with the Dremel to get them to look better. And when you look at Sen Navy's review, and he holds it like that in the light and he turns it, oh dear, it's a right mess. It's awful. So yeah, that kit has not had a good birth, shall we say. It's not the best. Anyway, there we go. So that's my part A. The fret F you get in the DX kit. You get templates and all the little rungs, I think, to drill all these out. You can replace these just like you can on the superstructure. So you've got some there, you've got some there. There's some down here. Look. So they look much better replaced. They look fantastic because, as I say, with the flat grey, they produce shadows. One thing I did just want to look at, one more thing before we say goodbye. I just wanted to have a quick look at the decal sheet. I'm going to put this back in here. It's such a great way of packaging. They've got this from Hasegawa, haven't they? It's such a great way because no matter what happens to that box, it ain't going to get damaged. I just want to have a quick look at the decal sheet because I'm wondering, do we have? I can see here we've got the deck markings, which were put on the deck so the crew could see where they were at night. You can see those numbers there, and they went along the edges of the deck. But I'm wondering if we have, I need to just grab my magnifier, I wonder if we have the displacement thingies, the numbers. Yes, we do. We have those there, decal number 23, so we have those to go along the bow and the stern so they can see the depth here on the water. But, oh, what a lovely, 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 lovely kit. So what I'm going to do, I'll call that a day there, and then when we do part B, we'll have a look at all the plastic, all the photo etch, all the turn metal, all the resin, everything. And I've also got some extra little bits of resin to show you as a special treat. So I'll see you all soon. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.